Hey everybody, so I'm excited because I'm here with one of my good friends, Alisha.
Hello.
And she's amazing. You can follow her and keep up with her at yokeandabundance.com, and she's on Facebook and all those different places, Instagram. But she's going to talk with us today a little bit about one way that you can manage your anxiety, which is something that I think everyone needs, and she's going to give us a tool. So
Yeah, can I talk a little bit about anxiety?
Oh, please. Yes.
Okay.
Go.
I think in this day and age, it's rare to find somebody that doesn't suffer from a little bit of anxiety.
100%.
So let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
It's not this weird thing that only some people have and others don't have. I think
it's like the new norm. Yeah.
Ooh, I really don't. That's horrible. But yes, it is kind of like the new norm. And, it's just the faster our lives move, the more chances and opportunities we probably have to encounter anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And especially as business owners.
Oh, my God.
And, we feel like there's so much that has to be done, and we're the ones that have to do it.
Yes.
And it feels like everything's riding on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can feel like a life or death situation. And the thing about anxiety is it puts our bodies into a fight or flight mode.
Panic. Yeah.
Panic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Like, are you going to freeze? Are you going to fight? What are you going to do? And so it's like this constant state of like elevated heart rate, elevated blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got like chronic stomach aches, those things are probably anxiety related.
Oh, yes.
And as someone that suffers from a certain level of anxiety myself, I'm really, really curious about what are the tools that that we can use.
Simple, easy things. Yes.
Quick.
Yes.
Okay. Because when the anxiety is really bad and you're up in the middle of the night and your mind is racing with those things, what can you do to turn that off?
Mm-hmm.
What can you do to lower the volume so that you can get the rest that you need so that you can feel less anxious tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a positive psychology practitioner, and what that means...
I didn't even know that.
Really? Okay, so it's one of the tools, one of the biggest tools that I use in my coaching with clients are positive psychology interventions. And that's a horrible word, but it just means exercises and tools to intervene to help cut off an undesirable behavior. So... gratitude journaling. There's so much research that backs up gratitude journaling being a really powerful thing. And okay, I have not been on the gratitude journaling bus, y'all. Like, I will tell you,
that surprises me.
In the beginning, I had a friend that I would run with, and she would talk about how much she loved gratitude journaling. And I'm like, well, if she's doing it, I should do it too, because she's awesome on so many levels. And I'd be like, okay, I'm grateful for my cup of coffee, or I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. But like, just saying what I was grateful for was not connecting me to the thing.
Right.
When I did my positive psychology certification, I realized that I was missing a couple key components. So the thing that's really important in gratitude journaling is write down 3 things you're grateful for, why you're grateful for them, and what you did to bring them into your life.
So that's 2 new levels, because I've only done the listing of the things.
Me too.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to tell a little story about the research, and then I'll go back to that. Okay, so in the research for this particular study, listing what you're grateful for, why you're grateful for it, and what you did to bring that into your life, a control group was asked to do nothing. And then the other group was asked to do the listing the 3 things that they were grateful for, why they were grateful for, and what they did to bring it into their life. They were asked to do that for 30 days.
Wow.
Okay. So for 30 days, every day, they would do this practice. After a week, the control group was right here. It was 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, the group that was doing the gratitude journaling, their happiness level dropped. It did not increase to begin. Okay, so they have they don't know why, but the hypothesis is that, have you ever started a new habit?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So they're starting a new habit. So that could be the reason why it's so difficult. They don't really know. That's besides the point. I just wanted to point that out.
That's interesting.
Now, after a month, the control group is still where it was as far as happiness levels. And the group that was gratitude journaling, they're in the same, I'm like, okay, they're in the same plane.
Yeah.
Okay. But what happens is after about 3 months, this group has risen in their happiness levels to a statistically significant place. Mm-hmm. Okay, now they were only asked to gratitude journal for 30 days. They may or may not have continued that practice. We don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
After that time period, 6 months later, their happiness levels had jumped again. They measured
with or without continuing
the
habit.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
They measured a year out, and the happiness levels had jumped again.
Oh my goodness.
Now, so on the short term,
right?
Okay, on the long term, clearly this has a benefit, right?
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
Yeah.
You actually didn't need to know that because what we're talking about is the immediacy of the anxiety thing.
Yes. Yeah.
So just side note, little detour is that a 30-day gratitude practice
can change your life
up to a year out.
Wow. And probably it's just like a shift in how you process that just takes place. And I mean, it just propels you forward. That's beautiful.
What's happening is when I lay in bed at night thinking about the horrible situation I may or may not be in at that moment and catastrophizing and thinking of all of the worst case scenarios, I'm not actually dying. Nothing in that moment is actually
life-threatening.
Life-threatening.
Yeah.
So what I do is I start in my head. I don't even grab paper. I just in my head start thinking of, in this moment, what am I grateful for?
Yes.
Why am I grateful for it? And what did I do to bring that into my life? That changes the neural pathways in your brain.
Wow.
So what happens with your anxiety is you're on a loop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you start going in.
It feels that way too, and it's like, let me out. Let me out.
Yeah. And like you're on this continual loop, like a hamster wheel. And the more you think about it and the more you ruminate on that, the stronger that neural pathway gets.
Yeah.
The deeper that groove gets. But the gratitude journaling interrupts that. Or even just doing it in your head, it interrupts that and it forces you to reroute.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
It's an immediate thing that you can do.
And that's like what happened to these people. They got rid of that rut and rerouted it. I mean, it's almost exactly sounds like it's beautiful.
And it had long-term effects because of it. But what you should also know is just a couple notes. If you are having a hard time conjuring that feeling of why you're grateful for something, that's maybe a sign to skip that practice that day. It has it's counterproductive to force gratitude journaling. So if you are having a really, really bad day.
This is mind-blowing.
Yes. You're having a really, really, really bad day and you just cannot conjure that feeling of actually being grateful for something. Just skip that day. Give yourself some grace and know that it's okay. Because if you try to force it, it's going to have the opposite effect that you want it to have.
Wow.
So just know that that's an important piece of the puzzle. Yeah. I think there's another little tidbit in here. It is really important to think about what you're grateful for. It's important to think about why you're grateful for it because that helps you conjure that feeling, the actual sensation and feeling of gratitude. But the why you're grateful for it is probably the most important part of the equation. What you did to bring it into your life is the most important part of the equation because what happens is that what you did, it gives you agency. It's not just that life is happening to you, but you actually did something. Even if you believe in a higher power, you connected with that higher power enough to help bring that into your
challenges. Because I did this recently, just kind of accidentally. I challenged some people. We were at a retreat, and I said, "Let's write thank you notes to ourselves." And I couldn't hold myself together. I had to stop thinking about it because and I'll probably cry right now because it was so emotionally difficult and challenging. And it's the same idea of I get stuck in this, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing it right, I'm failing, I'm not getting where I want to go. And giving yourself some credit for being where you are is, sorry.
It's powerful. It's so powerful.
No,
so
it was really powerful, but that's the same idea.
Yeah,
I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, do it. Everybody do it. Challenge is on.
30 days.
All right, all. Have a good one.